What is up, my friends, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be destroying a lot of Grandmasters with bunker rushes. One of the recent patches nerfed the bunker rush significantly, but that has never stopped me and is not going to stop me now. I'm even more motivated to come up with crazy bunker rushes. In this episode, I'm going to be doing a mix of more normal bunker rushes and crazy ones and even very old ones. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's begin. Okay, the first game of the day is against a Zerg player. Actually, on this map, I'm gonna do a more classic bunker rush. Actually, no, not classic, just old, really. If I say classic bunker rush, what you guys imagine is that I'm just gonna do like a proxy 2-rax or something, which I might do later on in this episode. But the build I was thinking of is a build that was admittedly kind of unsuccessfully tried in really 2012 maybe or so, I want to say, like a very long time ago, where Terran players try to deny the creep by building a bunker here, right? Now, I would imagine that this specifically only works on maps with ramps because you kind of have to, you know, it's just the easier way to do it, really. Like, if you look at this area over here, one bunker here closes everything off. Like, it's just a perfect map to do this, so I'm gonna try it. Now, how exactly do I want to do it? I'm not quite sure, honestly. I guess I would probably need a Reaper. This is not going to be an easy one. So there's multiple stages to this, right? First of all, we need to get a bunker down without dying to 4 Zerglings. Okay, that's stage number 1. So that would make me think I should make a Reaper. But if I make a Reaper, the Queen could walk down and deny it pretty easily. So that's another problem. And then there's the second stage where if it gets link speed, 20 Zerglings with speed will easily kill the bunker, right? So then I also need Hellions in time. I'm really trying to figure out what the best way to do this build would be. I kind of think that maybe even going for like a reactor first and then making 1 Reaper and 1 Marine. That sounds pretty crazy, but could actually be the best way to do it. Or maybe I should even go for like a double gas, so I can make a Reaper and the factory early. Quite an interesting build, actually. If you could make that work, it would look very strong. The problem is the making it work part. it's not going to be as easy. Let's see. Okay, so this is a regular hatch first. Guess I'm just going to hide this SCV here for a little bit. Marine is on the way. I mean, it's possible he's going to let me make the bunker anyway, just because my Reaper is going to be over there. See, I think I'm just going to... Okay, so his links are over here. Oh, that's actually very annoying. It's a little bit of a crazy thing by him to do to send those Zerglings out, to be honest, because now his drones are unprotected for about 10 more seconds. Actually, it's a very fast Queen. Then it makes more sense. He cannot kill that, sadly. I know the links are across the map, so I guess the next Marine should be staying at home here, and then I'm going to go for a 3cc. Not coming down the ramp yet with his Queen. Trying to pay close attention to that. Okay. This Marine should actually win, but my micro was pretty bad, to be honest, so not gonna win right away, but that's okay. Marine is gonna come out. I'll start my Hellion production right away. And then we do have a bunker here right now. Now, for the time being, this is not gonna deny a whole lot. I guess it kind of depends on if I can keep it up long term, really. If I can keep it on long term, then it's gonna be quite successful. It's kind of annoying that he sent his links out, to be honest, because... Okay, so he might try to break it already. Just judging by this, he might actually try to break it fast. Because, like, the Queens are not going to kill it by themselves, right? So it kind of looked like he was trying to tank for the rest of the units coming out. It's kind of funny, because against Queens, this is so good. This is pretty therapeutic for me as a Terran player, because normally you can't do much against Queens early on, you know? That looked like a bailing nest to me. I would expect a Roach Warren, so I'm kind of surprised, because it definitely did look like a bailing nest to me. I'm going to go over here and target down those Overlords. I have 2 cars. One of them is pretty far gone. Rude? Yeah. The strategy, guys. Wait, this is actually freaking working? This has to be the coolest freaking bunker rush you guys have seen in your lives. Like, this is kind of crazy. Okay, so he's going to try to break it again. Well, actually, I can scout that from here. Okay, so that's an evolution chamber as well. I mean, Banshees would do me pretty good here. Let's see, he doesn't have this base, right? I checked earlier. Yeah, he doesn't actually have this base. Guy, this is working just magnificently so far. Like, my third CC is finishing, and I'm a Terran player against a Zerg. My CC should finish way later. Now, it could be 2-base Muta. If it's 2-base Muta, Yeah, it's kind of looking like it, right? If it's to his Muta, I need to make something that can defend that. Okay, so he has roaches. Might go for a Nidus here, actually. Let's see. Try to save those. I guess I don't need any more of these. Yeah, Nidus seems the most likely. If it's Nidus, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble, I would think. Because I don't have anything that can kill the Nidus itself. Okay, so I'm going to throw one grenade here. I'm going to try to run back with these, actually. Speed is going to finish pretty soon, I would think. Let's get 2 bunkers at the front. And then this is going to be a very interesting scenario from here on out. Because, I mean, I have the eco lead. He has the army lead by a long shot. Like, I haven't really been in a scenario like this, to be honest. At least not for a long time. So that is very, very cool. Actually, maybe we're going to go across with this Banshee. Is it crazy? Definitely. Could it work? Maybe. I didn't want to say definitely because I wasn't quite sure about it. But I have the 2 Widow Mines over here. That's going to be very powerful, of course. He might be looking for a place to put down the Nidus. He now sees that I'm making Banshee Cloak. At least I would imagine that he thinks it is Banshee Cloak. Let me just make sure that there's no freaking Nidus finishing in my base without me seeing it. Because that would be pretty much the end of things here. Overseer is ready. Just lift this off, and then we're gonna continue with the macro. Now the Widow Mines, oh look at that, that is delicious. Yeah, beautiful. Widow Mines not usually a counter to roaches, of course, but in this case, works out perfectly. 4 Widow Mines on a ramp, he doesn't really want to run up there in case there's more. In this case, there were actually more too, by the way. So that was, yeah, perfect so far. I would say that we definitely gotten ourselves a small lead over here. But I do need to secure the base. It's a bit of a misleading thing sometimes against Zergs, where you feel like you're in a fantastic spot because you denied their eco. But keep in mind, as soon as that hatchery finishes, they can make so many drones, it's instantly saturated, right? So if I don't hurry up, then my eco is still going to be behind. So that is good to keep in mind. Do we need to be afraid of the Nidus? I actually don't think so. It would be smart to keep something. Oh, that's really good positioning by him. Overlord Cocoon. Ah, I see. So this is looking to be like some kind of queen drop probably, right? I think that makes sense. I don't know why else he would be making more stuff than that. Actually, I could catch some of them perhaps with these Widow Mines. Gonna start a couple more. I'm not gonna have tanks over here. So we're gonna defend this with Marauder. Marauder Widow Mine. I'm actually making mass Marauders like a psycho. Just only tech labs because I feel like the situation is calling for it. Let's see, maybe I can snipe one of these. Okay, this is 100% all in. Honestly, I already knew that, but now he's following me with his queens because he wants to drop mass queens in my base. If you're wondering what the queens are for exactly... oh, he has tunneling claws as well. They are to deal with the banshees more than anything else. So he could also be burrowing in my base. Dude, this is so cool. The triple bunker mass marauder style. And I feel like it's actually going to work out. What I need to do is just pull the workers at the exact right time. There we go. And I think we have done that. I'm tempted to retreat from here for now. Let's see. I think we're okay for this little bit. I got my medevac showing up as well. Now I can kite the roaches. There we go. That's always going to be quite efficient. Just need to make sure I don't fight like too straight up, because then we're going to be in trouble. The 4 tech labs are really going to be paying off here pretty soon. Look at this. Okay, I'm on top of the Ravagers now. Ravagers are pretty tanky against Marauders because they're not armored, by the way. In case you guys are curious, we're going to be able to kill all of these. He's not lifting them up, surprisingly. He could be saving those with the Overlords, but he's not going to. We survived the first attack. Now, even though I lost 1 million SCVs, I do think that this should be enough of an advantage for us to win this game now. Let's see, we have 47 workers is not great. I do have 1-1, right? Yeah, I do have 1-1 already. Let's see, he's probably still making road. Oh, that's a drone. Okay. I did not expect to see a drone there. I mean, after losing your entire army... Oh, wait, this is huge. Oh, this is massive. Yeah, all these are gonna die. Look at this. There we go. That's his army right there. He could have burrowed them, but I had my scan ready. I was actually kind of holding my finger on it, waiting for the burrow to happen. But since I saw a drone, I know he's not gonna have too many more. Those roaches are gonna die as well. They're actually stuck up there. Let me just target them one by one. Queens are also not armored, so they don't take bonus damage from Marauders. Now we're gonna be able to go ahead and kill this base over here that's full of drones. I knew that because I saw the roaches finish. Obviously, I'm just gonna scan here. It's actually pretty sick that I went for mass Marauders and it worked perfectly. If he would have gone for the mass Hydras first, the Hydra and the Link, like what he was going for, this would have been pretty problematic. But instead, we get the GG. And I would say verdict for the first game is that this build definitely worked. I mean, it could have been a better version, but honestly, I'm quite happy with this. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Let's do a quick check over here, right? So the bunker goes down. He's still mining gas. Okay, so it looked to me like he... Actually, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure if he wanted to go for the lair right away or he was actually planning on going link speed first. I was going to say if he was planning to do this build already, then it wasn't going to be as effective. But I would say it worked for sure. The scouting is definitely a little tricky, so I need to keep in mind that next time maybe I pop the Reaper out of the bunker to scout around the base. Then we know if it's going to be Mutas or Roaches in time, and then I can do whatever response because I have extra eco. As long as I live, we're going to be fine. But this was a fantastic, good old... at least a decade-old bunker rush to start the episode with. Let's continue. Alright, game number 2 is against a Terran player. Now that's going to be interesting because... how do you even bunker rush a Terran player? Not even I am sure. I mean, we're going to figure it out right now, but I'm not 100% sure. I think the first idea that comes to... yeah, actually, I do have an idea here. First idea that comes to mind is to go for a 1 barracks proxy marauder. Okay. So not super committed, just 1 barracks proxy marauder. And then a lot of the times Terran players will have walled off the front, at least with 1 depot. They don't usually use 2 depots anymore, so at least 1 depot. And then, even if there's a bunker, for example, I can make a bunker over here. It's going to give my marauder 1 extra range, and I should be able to shoot down his depots pretty comfortably. And then we transition from there. I don't think there really is any, like... bunker rush that works against Terran otherwise. Another thing I could try is to go for 2 racks Marine and go for an Eternal Contain. But if you go for a 2 racks Marine proxy against Terran, you have to defend the Reaper somehow, right? Because 1 Reaper is gonna kill, you know, 15 SCVs if you give it enough time. If the guy has enough multitasking and micro. So that would be a pretty scary scenario. If you go for Proxy Racks Marauder, you have gas pretty fast. So you can still get a factory on time. And I feel like this is going to be my best chance. We get another Terran. I'll try the proxy 2x, of course. If we get another Terran after that, somehow, we'll figure it out, guys. We will go as we, you know, as we get the matchups that we get. Now, here's a trick. If you do proxy marauder, is that you actually don't make this supply depot. You make the factory first. A really big tip here. Because this way, you can do a proxy marauder, get the pressure out, and get the Hellion out in time. So you skip this next upcoming SCV, you get the factory first, then the depot, then concussive cells. You have to skip a couple workers, but this way, it is by far the strongest way you can do this build. Probably cut a little bit out of gas here. Because then you can attack with marauders, but you can also not die to a Reaper if they send it across, which is... pretty nice benefit of a build, you know, to not die to something that's very likely to happen. I guess I'll make 1 Hellion. I'll wait for 2 Marauders over here. We once again have... actually, did we get scouted last game? Well, it was Zerg, so I guess it's always different against Zerg. But this time we are not getting scouted anyway. That Reaper is appropriately timed, I think, right? For a second I thought it might have been a proxy Reaper, but I believe it is appropriately timed. This guy, a little bit of mistake on the Reaper micro, and we're going to be able to deny this base, which is great. Going to go for the bunker right away here. This Reaper is not going to die, sadly. But this Hellion can go across the map, and I would say that this is already a pretty good start. Going to fly the barracks over here. He can either pull his SCVs and suffer, or he can just cancel the command center. There's really just 2 ways to go about it. Going to keep the Hellion at home, actually, for now. Let's see what he has. No SCVs here, actually. Oh, this is perfect. 2 depots in the wall off, guys. That is beautiful. Meaning we're going to be able to kill both of those. Yeah, indeed. Good choice for me to send my Hellion back. And now we're just going to expand behind it. He's trying to kill my Hellion. Reapers do not beat Hellions without micro, so I really don't mind that happening. I mean, at this point, we can just stay here forever. Like, if he's not going to make a... tech lab on that factory, we're just going to be chilling here forever. He sent in another Reaper. That one's also going to die to the Hellion, I think. Yeah, it is indeed also going to die. This has not been a successful counter-attacking campaign by my opponent, that is for sure. You can actually go up here. The crazy thing is that because of the way he's playing, I haven't even really needed this bunker. I thought I would need it for sure, but I guess apparently I do not. And this was an incredibly painful game for my opponent, because as you can see, the worker count is even. but just strategically, he has been absolutely destroyed. And this is the ideal proxy marauder that you can have. I'll give you guys a little tip here as well. What he should have done is just instant tech lab on this. Like, this, I'm not gonna lie, was a bit of a brain fart. I don't know why on earth he would make a Hellion against Marauders, first of all. And then here, he's like, a Widowmine makes sense. He just made it after the Hellion, so my Marauders were already up the ramp. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this was a bit of a disaster class by Mr. Barcode over here. Instant Tech Lab, tank, you don't take any damage beyond probably losing the depots or maybe a couple SCVs if you try to repair this one. Then you can shoo it back, you can kill the bunker, and it's kind of comfortable. But this guy, a little bit of a disaster class. He's already supply block because of the cancelled CC. Now he gets even more supply block. Then he rebuilt a depot, but he gets supply blocked again. So at this point, he can't even make another mine or anything. He knew he was going to be stuck here forever because even now he's making another Hellion instead of a tank. So he's trying to do counter damage. I wasn't even sure what I was going to do with my money. I was like, I could make 2 extra factories or a starport or whatever. But this was a very comfortable, nice and easy game. Let's go to game number 3. All right, game number 3 is against a Zerg player. Now, we already did the oldest bunker rush I could think of, really. I think this game I'm going to go for my favorite bunker rush, which is going to be the Reaper one. You guys might have seen me do this against Elaser in Home Story Cup, but because of his build, it didn't really end up becoming a particularly... I mean, it was an entertaining game, but it was a bit of a stupid game. And not in a way where it became chaotic. I just kind of had a build order win and he died, pretty much. So it wasn't as cool. And actually, doing it on this map, I just realized this as I started sending my SCVs across. Is absolutely psychotic. I'll explain you guys why. First of all, this map does not have a Reaper cliff. I don't think I have to say anything else. This map does not have a Reaper cliff, which is going to be pretty bad for Reapers. And it also is not going to help me with my bunk. Actually, the hatch is even close to the ramp. I think I chose the worst map ever for this strategy. But yeah, like always, that is not going to stop me. So here we go. So the strategy is actually very simple. You go for Reapers. Your Reapers are going to arrive before there is Zerglings or Queens out. Then you place a bunker in between the main and natural. Just a quick warning, on some maps that's actually not possible because, you know, if the ramp is too close to the hatchery, which it could be on this map, the creep is going to be there. So that's going to be a, you know, a slight downside there. And then you cut off the reinforcement between the hatcheries. They're usually going to pull drones. You're going to micro your heart out with your Reaper. And that way you try and get the dub, basically. I legit think it's a really strong strategy. Biggest problem with it is that a lot of Zergs do play stuff like pull first and whatever on the ladder, and then you're gonna be in for a bit of a tough time. But yeah, anyway, just please do not do it on this map, okay? I'm crazy. You guys are probably crazy too, watching me, but you can limit your craziness to a healthy degree. Let's see if I can actually put a bunker here or okay, I mean, it's very close, but I barely can. The problem here is that my Reapers are super far away. That's the other thing, besides the fact that it has no Reaper cliff that I was scared of, was that I couldn't proxy the barracks close because that's in the Overlord path. Okay, so here's Reaper number 1. Zerglings are going to finish any second, I believe. Exactly. There are the first set of links. If he's not going to kill the SCV, then we don't care at all, really. Actually, I'm going to run it this way. Let's see, where's my other SCV? I think it's arriving momentarily. There we go. That's going to die now. Queen is going to finish very, very shortly. So we're going to try and focus down the Queen. Wait, actually, it's a perfect wall with the Queen. No way. That is disgusting. How good is that? Oh my god, and we saved the Reaper. Wow. Come on, guys. Oh, no, please do not do that. I'm playing with fire. And it's actually working. Oh, this is disgusting, actually. Wow, this is just beautiful. This is exactly what I mean, by the way. He's going to have a really hard time coming back up here because it's, you know, the bunker's in between the reinforcement lines. So he can't really reinforce very easily at all. Now, I think he might have sent his links. Okay, I thought he sent them around, but he didn't. He does have a Roach Warren already, by the way. Meaning there's going to be a bit of a timer on this. We're going to have to do as much damage as we possibly can. Going to throw another grenades in this mineral line. There is Roach number 1. He's not going to be able to kill that Reaper, I think. Exactly. Let's get him back in here. Pull the red HP Reaper back. If we can stop him from snowballing, that's going to be a massive moment already. Here we go. Can probably kill another Roach here if my micro is good enough. So far, our micro has actually been pretty much perfect, I think. So I can be very happy with that. Let's pull those ones back. Exactly. Throw a couple grenades. I think this is looking like a pretty nice fight here, not going to lie. Can get those into the bunker as well. Throw a grenade. Oh, I actually underestimated how much damage those roaches were going to do. I thought it was going to survive on 1 HP. So that's a bit of a miscalculation by me. Gonna kill as many as I can before dipping here. And now the situation is quite interesting because he does not have a lot of workers, but neither do I. I think I can cut a little bit of gas here. The bunker rush, I would say it definitely... I mean, it worked as well as it could have for this freaking map. Because once again, this map, it was just the worst I could have ever chosen for this. We get a couple more links for free. He has to make a difficult choice here, by the way. Which is very simply, if he wants to keep mining as much gas for the roaches and ravagers and stuff. He's trying to defend his natural, which honestly, I'm not sure he has to. He can also just... completely saturate his main, I think. That queen is so low HP, I'm surprised it's even here, to be honest. Okay, we're going to keep hitting this hatchery. Let's see if we can get a nice little free trade over here. That roach is taking a significant amount of damage. That Reaper actually lives there for a little bit. It is going to fall now. Ooh, that was a bit of a misclick by me. My micro started off being fantastic. At some point, it definitely deteriorated. I can't lie about it, but sometimes it does happen in these... yeah, very scrappy builds that you do. His micro has also been phenomenal, I have to say. Most Zergs really don't micro it as well. Especially not at his MMR, admittedly. Let's see if I can get another roach over here. I would say that first I out-microed him heavily, and now he has out-microed me heavily. I think that is fair to say. Should have just been... I think maybe I was a bit too overconfident actually with the roaches, because if you play like a little more careful like I'm doing now, you actually end up getting some pretty easy trades like this, like the Reapers heal. The roaches don't heal as much. Now what can I do to get out of this situation, because it is a little sticky? I'm not quite sure. I'm just here wishing that this map had a freaking Reaper cliff right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. With how this game started, I would have 100% won this game already if there was a Reaper cliff. There is no doubt in my mind about it. Especially with how the start went. He's now making drones, which I do not approve. Let's see if I can get a roach for free. Really good initial trades there. There we go. Yeah, I think he might have been a little bit too greedy here, guys, making those drones already. Okay. Be very careful. The Ravagers have very long range. That's the scary part here. Okay, he's gonna try and follow me. I'm gonna be able to kill all of these drones, actually. Look at this, that is beautiful. Now Reaper is coming from the back as well. I have a really nice little natural choke here between the mineral, and look at this. What a fight we are taking. And now I can do this. I can go up the ramp, and I can just fight here for free. Look at this. All these trades are actually awesome. I think it's a good time for me to go and one-shotting some drones over here. He's trying to wait. I can just one-shot those drones as well. We're going to be able to kill a lot of drones here. I need to make sure I focus fire so I don't get owned by him hold positioning those. Let's see. Can I get... Oh, no. That was a bad move by me. I kind of thought there was another one I could have killed. Let's resaturate the gases and make a couple more barracks. And now we're going to go for the command center. I think... it's pretty much the same as what I said earlier. A big part of that trade was awesome, and then the end of the trade was not as good. I think. I'm not quite sure what I should have done about it, to be honest, but that is my analysis of the situation. Okay, so we send a couple units over here. I see he has roaches ready for this. Well done by him once again. That is a pretty low HP roach, though. I see it. There we go. Let me make sure to kill this one. Try to escape with the rest. Is it time for me to lift those off already? This one I can definitely lift off. Now, it's a couple too many units for me to jump on, sadly. I would love to get the jump on there, but it is not going to happen, I'm afraid. Actually, I say that. I do have 7 Reapers. Oh, one of the roaches out of position. That's massive news. Look at this. One of those roaches is going to die pretty much instantly. Then I have a grenade from downtown, which means I'm going to be able to pop the Ravager. There we go. Exactly. That is beautiful. Need to make sure I don't get popped myself by that roach. I keep underestimating the damage. I'm not kidding. So many of these trades, including that one, I really thought I was going to survive another hit, and then my Reaper freaking dies. I'm washed up, guys. I'm still good with Reapers, but for my standards, I'm a little bit washed up. I can't lie. This is normally my absolute pride in StarCraft 2, but now it has definitely, you know, my ego is definitely taking some hits here. But that's okay. Sometimes you need someone to set you straight, you know? Like, what's his name? Her Yacht? Was that his name? Or Her Laugh? Something like this. There's a lot of roaches. He has definitely been able to rebuild here. I got +1 on the way now, and now he sees for the first time that I finally have a command center. I'm going to do something unusual. And I'm going to take my 3rd base on location here. Can't believe a lot of these epic games are just freaking starting with a bunker rush. For some reason, starting a game with a bunker rush, it has a certain effect on the game, you know? Like, it just becomes so scrappy. And since no one knows what the state of the game really is like, it ends up getting kind of like that. Okay, let's see if I can get some free trades over here. Maybe able to snipe a queen. Don't want to be too risky now. Right now, I have to be even more careful than what I was already setting out to be after that somewhat rocky middle part of the all-in. And the reason is that he could have road speed anytime. And if he attacks me with road speed, he can definitely kill me if I lose too many Reapers. So that's what I'm going to have to be careful of. I did get the creep out of the way already, which is nice. Oh, if that Ravager walked forward a bit too much, we would have been able to pop that. But sadly not. Get a 6th barracks over here. Gonna try to jump on these queens, because the roaches are out of position, I could tell. Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Beautiful. Gonna be able to kill... Oh, I was gonna say 2 of the queens. Barely not. Are gonna lose a Reaper on the back end there. That is the 2nd queen falling in the end. Don't want to get too overzealous with the trades again. Like I said, right now I do have to kind of maintain my snowball possibility. Can I pop that? Barely not. The eggs have so much armor, it's pretty hard to kill a Ravager egg like that. I mean, the trades are getting good, and our eco is definitely better now than the opponent. Obviously, it's possible. Let's see. There's no lair. Oh, okay. If there's no lair, then we're actually chilling. Then I'm in no rush whatsoever. If there's a lair, you kind of have to be careful of both road speed and, obviously, the Spire. Because a couple of Mutalisk, I mean, I can always make, you know, a couple of Marines from these. So these trades are actually pretty good. Do I have +1 already? Oh, I do have +1. Okay, that's why. Okay. If I can get a nice... I think I can actually dive a little bit now because the roaches are going to spread. Look at this. I think I've gotten enough Reapers that now I can start taking these fights. And now I can get into the side here. Like with +1, you can't do stuff like this because the Reapers just hit so much harder. Let me pop that queen. There we go. I'm going to pop a couple of these roaches over here. Then I'm going to pop those Ravagers because they are getting a little bit annoying. And we have done it with the bunker rush into the Mass Reaper strat. Definitely a very epic game here. Very close, I have to admit, but in the end we do get it done. 11 minutes, and my opponent was still on his natural. No link speed, by the way. No lair. These barracks were here all the time. I still have 19 Reapers. These are all Reapers besides 2 SCVs, is that correct? Meaning I lost 37 Reapers this game. So I made, what is that, 56 plus these 61. A lot of Reapers, started with a bunker rush. And like I mentioned, guys, this map, absolute trash for this build, still worked. Though let's honor this little moment here because... I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm going to look at. I think some of you are going to realize because this was freaking legendary. The lock on the queen was insane. Because this is what he was clicking on. I'm not quite sure if you guys realize why he was derping. The SCV is what he was clicking on. He kills this SCV. That's already a big blow. But this lock was insane. And this Reaper gets within 1 shot of dying. I managed to get it out. This SCV I barely couldn't save. But the bunker finishes. That's all I needed. At this point, I'm still down 7 workers. But very happy with this game. But it's not the end yet. Let's play another one. All right, the final game of the day is going to be against Shadow, and I guess it's a perfect moment for us to go for the Proxy 2X Marine that we have enjoyed so much. I think I remember saying about this map that it's not perfect on this map. Let me see if that is correct. Yeah, it's indeed not perfect on this map, but I've been enjoying doing it so much, so we're just going to do it. You guys probably saw it in that trying to beat Grandmasters with only Marines episode, where I owned someone with, actually maybe even 2 people with the bunker rush. Looked very, very strong. And here I'm going to do it again. I actually found out that it's super strong on a lot of the new maps. Like I think most of the new maps you can just wall your opponent off with 2 bunkers. Like they put the Nexus here, right? 2 bunkers and it's completely walled off. I think on this map it barely, yeah, it barely doesn't work. Actually, I wouldn't even say barely. I think it's 2 hexes off actually. But it's... still, a build that I've enjoyed using. I beat Christianer with it recently in the Wardy European League as well. Christianer, pretty good Protoss player, of course, so definitely nothing wrong with the build. But yeah, once again, I would rather use it on other maps. You guys can tell throughout the last game, and now this game as well, that if you're doing things like this on ladder, it can be a little tricky because sometimes you feel like playing a build, but then you don't have the right map. If you play it in tournaments, you can kind of veto the maps and then you can kind of, you know, make the map order the way you want it to be. So like, okay, I pick this map because I know I can do this build on that. On ladder, that is a little different, so you need to be a little smarter. I mean, in this case, I'm not necessarily doing it for the MMR. I'm doing it for the variety and entertainment, so I don't mind that it's not the perfect map, just like in the last game, but ideally I would have had a better map for this. It looks like we are not getting scouted here. Okay, that actually makes me a little sad because, I mean, it's good, right? Because I'm going to bunker rush him anyway. But if he wouldn't scout me, then it would actually be disgusting to get the bunker wall up. Sadly, that is not going to be the case now. Now, if we're lucky, he didn't go for a blind zealot. Or, well, we would have to be unlucky for that to happen, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to go for a bunker rush here. I can still do like a semi-wall off if I want to. Guess I'll just go for that, actually. I'll go for the semi-wall off here. So I can, you know, have like a little area here where I can chill with the Marines. Probably going to pull workers if I had to guess. Or cancel the Nexus. Those are the two most likely options. I think if he doesn't pull workers, he's going to be in a good amount of trouble anyway. As long as my follow-up is clean enough. Okay, so there's a Stalker over here. Can definitely save that Marine. Probably should be able to save this SCV as well, actually. There we go. And we're going to have a very nice, successful bunker rush over here. Now, against the Protoss, this is not the end yet, because the follow-up is a little more tricky against Protoss. Like, if you do this against a Zerg, it's pretty simple, because you... It's going to cancel that. Oh, dude, for a second I thought he wasn't going to cancel that. I was like, oh my goodness. Against Zerg, if they make Roaches, you need Banshees. If they make Zerglings, you make Hellions, and that is pretty much all you need. I'm actually gonna, you know what? I'm going to do an experimental follow-up here, because why the heck not? First of all, I'm going to run into his main base with 8 Marines to see if he was maybe greedy. That does look a little greedy to me. No, actually, he does have the second Stalker. And he has the battery finishing. He's going to go for the Robo follow-up. Okay, so the experimental thing that I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to go for a double factory Cyclone. Really good by me to walk up there, by the way, just because I scouted the Robo. Like, that's actually a very nice scout. But yeah, like I mentioned before, normally the follow-up here is a little awkward. But if I can go for double... Okay, Cyclone is a little scary because Warp Prisms do counter Cyclones. You guys are wondering why that is. It's because you can just pick up the unit from 5 range that's locked onto. You can basically counter the entire purpose of the Cyclone there. If you have enough, that's not going to be as easy. Or if you have a lot of Cyclones. So I think it should still work. It does really interest me that I have been able to do the double factory and we are up in eco. Not by a crazy amount, right? But we're definitely up in eco. I mean, even these two... Look at these two... There's so much damage on the Immortal! Wow! Okay, that is awesome. He's not even going to be able to break that. I do like my barracks positioning here too, really have to say. Sometimes I just do things on instinct, and then I get... You guys have seen me do that before. I do something on instinct, and then I'm really happy with it when it comes to fruition. There's an observer there. Sadly, my next scan is very far away. I'm going to show up with my Cyclone. Oh, the Prism is in my... What does it have inside? I don't even know. 2 Stalkers. Just that? I guess that's probably what it is. I didn't expect him to have the Immortal and the Prism already. I mean, it's still completely fine, by the way. This is not going to be any trouble whatsoever. In fact, I'm going to be... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say I'm going to be smart about it and save my lock-on. But he sees the Prism, so that's not a trouble at all. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That is a mistake by him for sure. Oh, I can even... oh, I killed... That's so dumb. I microed my SCV... And then I killed another one myself. I was just about to say, oh, I saved that SCV. And then I killed another one with my own Cyclone Fire. Anyway, it's still a fantastic start here. Our eco is still ahead. He could have snuck out a probe and make a Nexus somewhere. I am not too scared of that. Because I think, you know, at some point we're going to be able to kill that with Cyclones. Though it's really not unlikely. You know what? I'm going to pull one of these SCVs to check. I think that is smart enough. Like, I have a lot of these Cyclones now. He's going to try to break out of it once again. Lock onto one of that Immortal. I should be able to kill that, I think, with this fire. Exactly. There we go. That is going to fall. I think the next Immortal is also going to fall, actually. Look at this. Yeah, that Immortal is going to die, too. Oh, my God. This is beautiful. This is actually beautiful play. He doesn't kill any of the Cyclones. I'm going to be able to lock onto this. Wow. Come on, guys. Come freaking on. That is so beautiful. He did indeed take a hidden expansion. This is what I was saying. It looks like a problem, but because I have such an active force and he wasn't going to have Blink because he went for the Robo, I felt like we would have been able to kill it anyway. I think the next time what I'm going to do, actually, I like to tell you guys my adaptations for the future so you guys know as well. So what I did here is I made exactly 8 Marines. I think I lost 1 or 2. So I made 8 or 9. I think I just lost 1. Next time, I think I can make 2 extra Marines just for the purpose of scouting the map. Because if there's no base on the map, we are just completely secure. One problem with that is that we don't have units to kill the base anyway if we do scout it. And the Cyclone is kind of used up already, because either I needed to defend the Prism or I needed to defend these bunkers. Besides that, it was perfect. I think that's the only thing I really have to work on. Maybe just make one extra Marine to scout the map, because even that is going to scout the map eventually at some point. But yeah, beautiful episode. I think we have 4 games in there in about a half an hour, 4 dubs. Shadon also a very good player. The last Zerg was very strong. But yeah, this was just really fun. We got some really odd bunker rushes in there, some more classic ones as well with the 3 Rex Reaper, but that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys had a fantastic time. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all for the next one. Adios.